Hi everybody, I wanted to introduce you to Project 4, which is our last and final project for the semester. Um, Basically what we're doing here is we're working with some experimental typography. I got inspiration from this from our book. This is the Designing with Type book, the 5th edition. On page 132, this is where some of this inspiration comes from. And I don't want you to follow the directions exactly in the book because it talks about a 6" by 6" square. We're going to actually be doing something that's 8.5 by 11. So we're going to work within those proportions. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cropping into current designs that we find. Now, one of the things that I've done here is I've created a 4 1/4 by 5.5 window. I've cut this out of this piece of paper. The paper is wide, it has no lines. This helps, it's like a little viewfinder. So we're going to use this to crop, and then we'll cut out the images. Now, you'll find inspiration from a variety of resources. Magazines, books, advertisements. You can find all sorts of printed material. But we're going to take these other designs from like newspapers, magazines, and so on. And for instance, I grabbed what I had. I have some packaging design. I have an advertisement from DirecTV that I'm going to crop probably this area out of. I have a really nice infographic that I got in the mail from Lawn Pride. So this might be inspiration. I'm not sure if I can crop anything here or not, but that graphic might be inspiration for my resume. Got something from Express, and I kind of like this area right in here. I like the out of focus photograph with this in focus texture, so I might do something with that. I also have a few other ads that I might crop out, and some more packaging that I might crop into. Now, all in all, you'll need 25 different things that you will have cropped. Now, I'm going to show you, for example, what we're going to do, and I'll cut out these sections. So on this particular piece, I may decide to put my window right about here, and I may cut that area out. Now, you do have to keep in mind when you're looking at these pieces that this will be turning into a resume, which will have a lot of copy on it. So I did put a little bit of forethought into this, thinking I better grab some graphics and layouts that have some copy. But you'll also notice I grabbed some that didn't have much copy, which means I'll add copy into some of the negative spaces. Now I'm going to take a few minutes and cut these out, crop them, cut them out. And I'll show you what I have when I get back from that. Okay, so I have my cutouts done. So let's review. I took a 4 1/4 by 5.5" square or rectangle, and I placed that over different layouts. So here was the packaging layout that I placed it over, and then I cut out this 4 1/4 by 5.5 graphic. So this is one inspiration for a layout. I took my, not Comcast, but my DirecTV ad. I cut a couple windows out of that. So here's the way it was, and here's inspiration for a layout right here. And here is another inspiration for a layout. Again, this is resumes that we're working on. But this little cool trick can work on a lot of different things. So if you're having a little block, a mental block, you can, this is a great little tip on how to get around that mental block. So if you're just having a total problem with layout, this really helps, or can help. Now here's my Express store ad, And here's what I got out of that. I'm not sure how much I can use of this, but I really did like some textures and some contrast and things, so we'll see what I can do with that. My Lawn Pride layout, which I really like the infographic on the one side, I actually ended up cutting it up. So this infographic might also still provide some inspiration for a layout. But I looked at the back of this and I cut a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 window out. And to me that looks like an interesting horizontal layout. I still have that infographic. I need to save that because this is some good inspiration. Oops, I just dropped it. Here it just goes to show that inspiration can come from anything, including an ad on toilet paper. So I put my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch square over this area, and this could prove to be a pretty dynamic layout. Now again, I'm going to replace all of this information with words, maybe some textures, but that's from a toilet paper ad. And here's one from my JCPenney optical ad. Okay, so I cut this part out right here. And another example is my Larabar Uber packaging design. I cut this out as a layout. Now, we'll get rid of that manager's special coupon. I don't find that to be too inspirational. So you want to do this at least 25 times for 25 different layouts from newspapers, magazines, publications, advertisements, packaging, just whatever you have on hand. Start cropping out interesting looking layouts. And the crops again are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I did keep in mind on a lot of these that I am going to be using a lot of text. So it's a combination of text and graphics, or also white space. White space gives me plenty of room to put text. So here's lots of inspiration, and I will use these to create layouts for my resume. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to typeset my resume in Microsoft Word. Now the resume I'll typeset won't have my address and phone number. It'll get rid of most all personal information just to protect my privacy, because I will be posting this video on YouTube. But I will show you how to typeset stuff using Microsoft Word. What you will want to do with these is you do want to capture these, either photograph them so that you can actually see them pretty well, or scan them. And we're going to use these as like little templates, or put in little things to put into InDesign to kind of build the layout around, also to sample colors. So there's my there's at least a little bit of my work done. I have about 6 or 7 of these. Again, you need 25 of these, and then we'll narrow down to 10 to build from, because we might have some struggles with some of them that we come up with. But these are cool too, because you can put them in a folder and save them for a rainy day, or save them for another project you'll be working on, and you could reference these layouts again if you don't use them. So this is a great tip on how to maybe create some really exciting layouts, some dynamic layouts, without having to really put a lot of time into thinking about how to deal with gridding and laying things out. Okay, so my next video will be on Microsoft Word and how to work with templates there. Thanks, I hope you enjoy or have some fun cutting out your possible layout scenarios. See ya.